Well, today's story is about Lake Butler Wildlife Management Area in December of 1989. I had went out there. It was raining. I mean, steady, just a steady drizzle rain. It had been raining all night long, overnight. And I went out there and had my climbing stand and all. I was going to get in a tree. I got out there and it was drizzling rain, and said, man, I don't want to sit in the rain today. So I rode around a while, and I actually was headed back to the house there. I come out there on Jeep Red Road to the end and turned right on 229 and was headed back towards Rayford. Anyways, and this was in the dog hunt area, and seen this one road there on the right. I thought, well, heck, I'll just stop. I'm gonna walk in there. And I'd never been in there in my life. I didn't know where that road went. Had no idea where it went to. And so anyways, I took off in there. I got my rifle, and at that time I had a Remington, I think it was a model 78 bolt action, 30-06, and I headed off in there, walking down that little woods road, and I was just easing real slow, just easing along, and it was steady raining. I mean, drizzling, and I just kept easing along, looking and looking, and didn't see nothing. Well, I had went, I know, a good mile or more, and it seemed like the road kept curving back to the left. And so anyways, I was going along there, and just one of those things. I just happened to look to my right over there in the palmettos, and because it was all planted pines, real thick planted pines and gallberries and palmettos. And I just happened to look, just turned to look there to the right, and right there looked, and I said, what in the world? And it was a deer standing there about, I don't know, he's probably 40, 50 yards in there. And all I could see is from the head up. Just his head and ears and that sticking up. And I got to look, and I thought, man, that looks like he's got some kind of, there's something between his ears there. And I threw the old rifle up, looked at him in the scope. And you got to remember, this was 89 now. That's back when the antler rule was 1 inch above the hairline, which I think it still should be myself. I'm out there hunting for the meat. I ain't worried about antlers. But anyways, I seen them little old, and I thought, well, boy, they sure enough, they pushing the law right there. But I believe they was legal. So shoot. All I could see is his head sticking up right there. So I lined up the old crosshairs about where I thought his shoulder was, and I touched her off. Well, when I touched it off, look back through the scope. The old boy, he's still standing right there. His old ears just twitching back and forth. He's just standing there looking at me. And I kept looking. I said, yeah, that is he's legal. He's got, and I said, all right. I said, I don't know where. I thought he was standing broadside, like looking to the left at me. So I said, okay. So I leveled up. And I put them crosshairs right between his eyes, and I kind of lowered them down about where I thought the chest was. Touched it off again after I'd racked another round in it. And when I touched it off that time, he disappeared. And I thought, what in the world? So I stood there a minute. Well, I stood there about 10 minutes, really. And I could hear it kicking and carrying on over in the palmettos. And so I eased over in there. And shoot, when I got to him, he was stone dead laying there. As my father-in-law used to say, dead as 4 o'clock. Oh, Lord. But, yeah, anyways, man, I got hold of that there bad boy's hind hoof, and I broke to the road, the woods road, pulled him back up there on the woods road, and just about that time when I got him to the woods road right there, I heard a truck go by out on 229. And I thought, hell, that sounds like it's right there, right here at me. And sure enough, a minute later, here come a car. And the road, the road just made a loop. Went in one way, come right back out to 229. And I wasn't no more than probably 200 yards from the hard road. So I drug him on down there to the hard road off in the palmettos and left him. And I walked back down to where I'd parked. Oh yeah, that's when I had an old car I was driving in, old Chevrolet car. And I pulled the old car down there and loaded him in the trunk and hit it to the house. Yeah. So, all right, everybody say go Gators.